Greetings. Welcome to the Uncle Vigilante channel. And tonight, I'm just waiting for this YouTube to pop up because I don't think it's on mute. And it's probably, yeah, see, I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. It usually gets me, but I got it before it got me. Anyway, here's the question. What makes great crypto communities? Well, I have a special guest tonight, Izzy. And he is an epic cash ambassador. What is that? We're going to unpack that. But, as you know, I've become an epic cash fanboy. And a big reason why is because I've lived in the Telegram quite a bit. And over the time, in addition to interviewing Max and Todd Lewis and Max again, and then we had Yoga Dude. It is my pleasure tonight to speak with Izzy, because Izzy and I have gone back and forth a lot, exchanging on some documents. And what's really cool in a great crypto community is that everybody leans in with their chin, not their hand out. So what I have observed is the epic cash community is filled with people like Yoga Dude and Todd Lewis and Izzy and many, many more. Max calls them ambassadors, and these are just people who have, with their chin led, and are willing to dig in and help wherever they can, however they can. And we all have our own unique independent talents. And we're going to review tonight a document that Izzy has prepared, along with countless others, to be able to submit to exchanges to get Epic Cash listed. And we're going to give you a sneak peek tonight. And specifically, we're going to talk about what it takes to herd cats, because Izzy's the guy who herds cats. He's a dog person, but, you know, in the Telegram, he's a cat person because he's responsible for herding cats and getting everybody to come together with a consensus and being able to move the ball downfield. So Izzy hails from Alaska, and I'm really happy to have you on, Izzy. It's the first time you and I have talked, and it's great to put a face in the name, face with a name. Welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm thrilled to be here.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I told you before the show that I have a million questions. And the first one, let's just start with, how did you get into crypto and when?
So I got into crypto. My first exposure was in 2010. It was a blip on my radar. I was freshly returned from serving overseas in Korea, and I had my computer up. I was doing some online gaming, trying to figure out how to run some scripts and searching things up. And this ad came up to mine Bitcoin, make money in your sleep. And I tried it with my $100 GPU and immediately failed and gave up on it. And then, got out of the service in 2013, and I was tracking Bitcoin exceeded the cost of 1 ounce of gold. And I said, I got to figure this out. I got to learn more about this. I started reading about the blockchain. I was enthralled. I was spending all my time when I get home from work on learning about cryptocurrencies. I bought a GPU that was not a $100 GPU. I think I spent like $250 on Craigslist.
Wow.
And I got going, and I was mining Dogecoin, and then, but I was a total idiot. I just aped into this thing. I didn't know what I was doing. Yeah. Mt. Gox happened. Everything went south. It was crypto winter. I didn't even know what was going on. All my GPUs went dormant. I think I started selling, I think I was up to like 5 or 6 GPUs by the time, things were going south in winter. And so I was selling that stuff off, and I was just like doing clickbait and like doing like 10 cents a click stuff. I was like, how do I make money on the internet or something, and
yeah,
and then the things started kind of getting better in 2016. So 2015 was a blur, it was crypto winter, is cold. So 2016, I got back a little bit into mining. Of course, 2017 blew up. I wasn't ready for that. But I realized that this was something I was still really interested in. And, I was looking back through all my old wallets, and things were ballooning. Things that I forgot about, like wow, were hundreds of dollars, and I still didn't get it. And to this day, I still think I'm learning. Yeah, absolutely. And you know, more than ever, I'm a believer in cryptocurrencies. And if there's anything I've learned, that stay in the game. And that's, you know, I've been burned, I've been ripped off.
Yeah.
You know, I feel for you with what happened with
Darrow.
TCB.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm tracking on that stuff, and I feel your pain.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't think many people get through a crypto career without learning some hard lessons, right? It's kind of called tuition, to where you screw it up, and it can be as simple as sending I mean, there's still some coins that I've sent to places that I have no idea where they went. I thought I did everything right, and they just are poof gone. And so it's one of those to where you learn really quickly. Start with a small amount first, you know,
Yes.
and make sure you receive it. But that's cool. So you have a lot of experience with cryptocurrency. You're a miner, and you've kind of figured it out, and you mine multiple coins, not just Bitcoin. You'd mentioned Dogecoin, right?
Right.
So how do you go about assessing what you want to mine?
So initially, when I first started in 2013, 2014, it was just what's profitable, like what's going to pay the bills right now. Because I spent money on GPUs, I spent money on electricity. I wasn't following it real closely until 2018 when I incorporated as an S corporation, and I started tracking costs a lot closer and expenses. So I recommend that to anyone doing this, that you actually do something to track your expenses and how much you're spending. But you know, early on, not a whole lot. Eventually, I opted into a paid service, which is something I never did. I was just on my own on bitcointalk.org, which is where Satoshi Nakamoto, him or herself, you know, started off.
Yeah.
And so I was reading through those and just seeing, you know, reading the announcement pages and again, just aping into what sounded good and you know, what people were chiming in on. And, oh, this is good because it doesn't have a big pre-mine, or, you know, this is good because it has a smaller supply. And just, you know, I was just highly diversified and scatterbrained, and I paid for this.
I love the term aping in, because it's just so because I can relate so much, you know. It's just like dive headfirst into the shallow end. We're in, you know.
It's relevant in today's pop culture as well, you know, with what's going on. So I paid $3 a month around late 2018, or no, mid 2018. I started paying $3 a month for a service that scans all these announcements on Bitcoin Talk, and you know, and that's how I was doing some things. And then mid 2019, I started. It was like August. I heard about Epic Cash, and I was blown away just comparatively immediately by the specs, the flexibility to mine multiple algorithms, the limited supply. Like, you could tell there was a comprehensive thought process that was going into this, and this was before.
Okay, so back the bus up. So how did you initially hear about Epic Cash? Do you even remember, or do you recall, or did all of a sudden it just hit your radar somehow?
It was that $3 a month paid service that.
Okay.
So there's a service called Newborn Cryptos, I think is the name of it. I stopped using it a couple months ago. I was like, you know what? I've been mining Epic Cash for a year plus. This is, you know, there's $36 down the drain at least. I'm just gonna knock that off.
So you're just mining Epic Cash now exclusively?
There's been a couple other coins I've hopped around to. At the moment, I dual mine Epic Cash with Ethereum on my NVIDIA GPUs. So
now, question: Have you done this for a living, or do you have a day job as well? And this is just kind of an expensive hobby.
It started off as a hobby until my wife was like, you know what, you should really track this as a business. And I started looking down that avenue, and I found an S corp was a highly attractive tax vehicle. For this kind of activity. And so this is my side hustle. This is my you know, I'm a 9-to-5 network IT specialist. So I work in information technology. So this is kind of like right up my alley, you know, with this.
Okay, so you have a day job, and like most of us.
Yes.
And you started mining and you started an S corp, so you're generating income.
Yeah.
And so when you started mining, what was the cost of Epic Cash? Do you recall?
You have such good questions. Thank you. Yeah, I recall that it was infinitesimally small, and that I was just doing this because the fundamentals were so good.
Was it less than a penny?
Oh yeah, it was. I could look it up on some charts. We have some charts somewhere. I'm not gonna.
No need.
A little bit unprepared.
So you were an early adopter with mining Epic,
Right.
and then you've seen it go from, you got a guy like me who Epic Cat, when I invested, it was like 50 cents, and it's been a couple of months now, and guess where it is? It's like 50 cents.
Right.
And so for me, it's intriguing to have a guy like you who has seen it go from less than a penny to 50 cents. So it's a different perspective, right? I mean, and you got into it because you felt it was the specs. Tell me about what appealed to you, because you seem to know what you're talking about when you're looking at cryptos and looking to mine. What made Epic Cash special in your mind that would be worth the effort?
It just keeps getting better. The more I look into Epic Cash, the more I see what people like Max and Yoga and Todd are doing, and dozens of other people that I meet through our Telegram channels. There's a genuine good faith effort going into this project to get the word out. That's one thing I neglected to mention earlier about when I did get into Epic Cash. It was announced on Bitcoin Talk, which is the place where cryptocurrencies should be listing, because that should be the place where that's sort of the mecca for announcements of your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency projects.
Okay.
And so it was fair launched. In fact, there was a little bit of a delay. I was expecting it, I think, in late August. I might be getting the dates a little bit off, but it was like a week delayed from when I really, I was ready to pounce from day one, because I was looking at the fundamentals and the specifications and everything.
Can you share with us two things? Okay. The second one's going to be to help us understand fair launch, but you just said fundamentals. So you were eager about this to start mining because of the fundamentals. What in your mind are the fundamentals that made this so attractive to you?
The egalitarian proof of work model.
What is that? What is that? This is dedicated to newbies. This channel is dedicated to newbies. We just always presume we don't know shit. So
I never used the word egalitarian until I got into cryptocurrencies, and it means fair for everyone.
Fair for everyone. Okay.
Yeah, and when you have a proof of work mechanism model set up that says we acknowledge the Satoshi vision that one CPU equals one vote. We acknowledge that by allowing our proof of work to mine our blockchain 60% of the day only to CPUs, which is the most prevalent processing capability that's out there in the world. Sure, you can have botnets, and you can have these one-off surges of hash power. A botnet is like a collaboration of computer processors that some evildoer has gone to harness and use for nefarious and things. But getting off track. That's what really got me into it. Was what got me into Epic Cash is the fairness of it. It was the fair launch, no pre-mine.
By multi-algorithm, that means that somebody who has just a regular computer CPU, they can mine. Whereas with Bitcoin, it's evolved to where you need to have some very expensive ASICs equipment, right? So it's not like you can just wake up and my daughter just turned 18. Maybe she's interested in crypto. It's not like she's going to say, I'm going to learn how to mine Bitcoin today. It's just not that easy, right? But with her computer, she could probably figure it out on how to mine Epic Cash, right?
I just taught my son how to mine Epic Cash. He's mining it right now on one GPU and the CPU on a computer that he built. So he's maybe, having a parent in the information technology field is a cheat code for him, but
that's all right.
Yeah, my son's is mining Epic Cash. He's learning about blockchain and cryptocurrencies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm thrilled.
It's not going away, is it?
No, sir. I see some adoption comparisons and analysis of where the internet was in the 90s and 2000s and where computers were and blockchain and cryptocurrencies were only 2 to 3% of the population is into this.
Yeah, somebody presented it to me, and because I'm a visual dude, I have to visualize things. It's like if you rewind back to when Web 1.0 launched and the internet was just kind of a new thing, right? Yeah. And then you take that and now you look that it's just ubiquitous. It is, everybody uses the internet right now. And thanks to I guess Al Gore, I think he invented it. And so if you take a look at where we are today from where that started, and you say that's a football field, and we are about at the 98-yard line of at the 2-yard line. So we're about ready to go score a touchdown. So we've gone 98 yards. Well, today, where a lot of us feel like, man, we missed the boat. I mean, you started mining Epic Cash when it was freaking less than a penny. There are people who bought, Bitcoin at $3. There are people that bought Monero at $10. There are people that bought, et cetera. We are about at the 4-yard line, this one person whom I trust said. And so when you think about it in those terms, we are, this is new but proven. And we are on, I would say, the leading edge, not the bleeding edge. The people think about all those wonderful people who got their Bitcoin at $3 and $10 and whatnot. But I have a sneaky suspicion is that you probably had some cheap Bitcoin. And I bet you when, let's say you had some at $10, I bet you when it mooned to 100, you thought you were a rich man and you sold it, right?
So when I first bought the Bitcoin, it was, like I said, it had recent all-time highs of an ounce of gold.
So what was it back then? Like
in 2013
or 1200?
1200, yeah.
Yeah.
And then it went down a bit, and I thought I was getting a good deal at 900, and then I went and spent like 0.7 Bitcoin on a couple of GPUs. And so, at recent all-time highs of Bitcoin, I'm like kicking myself because I'm like, oh man, I spent like $40,000 on GPUs a couple of years ago. What was I thinking, But again, I go back to that point, stay in the game. Yeah, I made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, but stay in the game. This is the place to be. Like, this is the biggest thing that happened to money that I've ever heard of. Like, this is a socialization. This is a revolution in money.
Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot. You were really attracted to Epic Cash when it was less than a penny. Mm-hmm. You hung in there. You become an ambassador, which we can talk about that. You're a community member. You're knee deep in it. You're a leader. Where do you think that Epic Cash could go from a price standpoint? And I know this isn't investment advice, and I'm not holding you to anything, but I know Max has compared it to HTTPS Bitcoin, meaning Bitcoin is surveilled, and this takes the best attributes, all of it, of the original Satoshi vision and adds privacy to it. So to me, that gets pretty exciting to think about the what ifs. There are so many things that are keeping us from big dollars, like getting on exchanges in our wallet, but all of that stuff is coming. But where do you think it could go? If you were talking to your son and saying, bud, start mining this because this coin could hit X.
So I have done price speculation. I'll say when I first got into Epic Cash, when I've first gotten into any coin, I've been bad at trying to do price speculation. That's something I probably should get better at, and try to pre-plan of, okay, what given the supply, given the market competition, given the market share that it's aiming for, where could this coin actually go?
Yeah.
So my price speculation has been loosely based, is more based on previous performance of other similar coins that had privacy as a feature, that had a similar supply. And so I go back to the big surge in 2018 after Bitcoin did its big thing, and then immediately following that, there was a big push for altcoins in 2018, early 2018. Things were going ballistic there. I was watching privacy coins go over $100. So I look at Epic Cash and I look at all the things they're doing. I look at all the catalysts, the community growth, the tokens that are coming online, the integration, the partnerships with people like Polygon and I don't know how you say it, Wanchain, Veriblock, and there's others, there's many others, that the activity happening, I think $10 is conservative. I think $10 to $100. I've said $10 by summer, so I'm saying that summer's going to end sometime in September. That would be my that's been my price speculation. And
okay, so, that's fair. Yeah. And here's what I share with people, just because I've been like a sponge with Sam and have learned a lot from all of you ambassadors in Telegram, is that right now, to be able to buy Epic Cash, you have to go to, well, this isn't the only way, but the Vite wallet, so VDEX. And while it may be a minor pain in the butt, it's really not. I've done a video down below that's why I like Epic Cash and how do you buy it. So it's helped many people buy Epic Cash. Thank you, Crypto Shark. You are a legend for creating that video. And when it gets to be the easy button, and when we have this amazing mobile wallet where you're mining while you're making phone calls, and when it gets on the exchanges, and we're going to go through what we've submitted to Gemini here, or are submitting to them upon final edit, we'll show you the vision. But when everything gets to be the easy button, we're not going to be talking about Epic Cash in cents. It's going to be in dollars, and we think lots of them. And so, good on you, Izzy, for having that vision. And tell me, here's the next step. Tell me how then you got involved with the community and decided, hey, I believe in this enough that I want to be more than just a miner. I want to actually kind of take my destiny into my own hands. And I believe in myself and my ability to add energy to this project, because I think ultimately a blockchain is just a collection of energy, which can be purchased. So those dollars that you earn to purchase, at some point in time, you expended energy to earn those. So to mine it, you've made your own investments, not just hardware, software, but sweat equity to learn how to do it. That's energy. Or you can, with Epic Cash, you can earn it. I mean, people if they go to GoFundMe.com and you have a cause for anything, it doesn't have to be Epic Cash related, but as long as you have a ViteX wallet and you have an address, go in and make your case. If you're a content provider, or if you're a crypto consultant and you want to get involved, you can get involved and earn Epic. So all of that is related to energy. And I have seen you have energy in abundance and really, really take the lead on so many projects. So thank you, first of all, because you are helping make this community great. But I'm interested to know what your process was of just saying, you know what, I can do more here.
Thank you so much for your energy and for your contributions, and credit where credit's due. First, I'm going to talk about Yoga and Max and how they got me in the loop and got me doing great things. But credit to you as well. HTTPS Bitcoin was your idea, if I remember correctly.
Well, I came up with the visual.
Okay. Well, it's great, and I was a little standoffish about it, given my technical background at first, but it didn't take long for me to see the wisdom in that presentation, and it's great. Yep, that's it.
Yeah, that's HTTPS Bitcoin. And let me show you one more. I keep these up on my screen all the time just because they're so powerful. And I like this one a lot. Epic equals HTTPS Bitcoin. Transactions are encrypted, not surveilled. So now you could go all geeky and talk about Bitcoin being encrypted too, but this is one of those. This is private. You can't see the transactions. So unlike a certain crypto vigilante who has Tourette's, every time he sees Epic Cash, he goes, "Epic Crash, shitcoin."
Yeah, too easy, but I'm a big believer in names too, and sure, you can make little Freudian slips in your head or whatever, but Epic is a tremendous name. It makes a lot of sense. There's all sorts of thought that went into this, and to your question about how I got kind of my process has been to engage, participate in the Telegram, and I'm sure we'll have links to that and how people can get connected in there and chat and just be yourself, talk in your own terms, give links that you think are relevant to Epic Cash. If it's not relevant, we've got off-topic channels and other places where we can communicate. We're on Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, Discord. We're trying to cover all the squares and grow our community.
Yeah.
And so, and yoga, at some point, yoga and Max and a couple other people must have put their heads together. We've got legal representation that have provided a legal opinion paper that supports Epic Cash not being a security. It scores like it's nowhere in the Howey check or whatever that thing is. I'm not an expert on that stuff. I
think it scores a 5, which means it's 100%.
And another thing that's worth getting someone else talking about, it's not really in my lane, but the lawyer that we have on our team has an interesting history with other cryptocurrencies. So I'll just leave it at that. I think it had something to do with XRP and the big debate about So the team, not just the lawyer, but I mean Max's experience, Yoga's experience, the Todd's experience, the developers, there's a lot of really smart people. I'll say myself included, and you included as well. And I love how you say I don't know shit, because I'll be watching you sometimes and I'll be like, I don't know shit because I'm learning stuff from you and I'm trying to keep up, so yeah, it's great. This is the community growing, that you doing stuff like this, me being engaged on Telegram. I set up a poll today to ask people. It's a public poll, so that means we're going to try to reach back out to people who participated in the poll, and the poll is to see where people have experience using exchanges. So like, what exchanges that we could consider safe have you used? And so far we're looking at Bittrex and Gemini, Digifinex, and Coin Metro.
Right. Yeah. And this, man, I just have to give this one up, is we also had KuCoin on the list. And then because Max does his due diligence and he's so well connected, he got feedback from some other counter founders, if you will. And the feedback was not, basically he made the decision, which is, nope, we're not going there. Let's take that off the list. And the reason why is because of he puts the coin holders, top of mind. I don't know if that's the right term, coin holders, but the folks who hold Epic Cash, that the community, top of mind in all of the decisions. And So KuCoin's not on the list for good reasons. And when we get on these exchanges, I guess what I want to do right now, just because I think this is a good learning process for everyone, is let me go here. I'm going to screen share. And guys, this is just some inside baseball, okay? And Izzy, you can appreciate this more than most, but this is a 17-page document that is going to these 4 exchanges. You have no idea. As we go through this, you're going to learn a lot about Epic Cash, but at the same time, I just want to say this page 1, which is you get one chance to make a first impression. We labored over that and labored over that and labored over that. This was edited probably 500 times, and so many people contributed to it. So I'm going to go ahead and read it out loud because I think this is the first time that I will read out loud the final edited version. Epic Cash is a decentralized, privacy-enhanced cryptocurrency developed by a growing volunteer community. Because Epic Cash is fungible, trustless, open to everyone, and permissionless, it represents the kind of private property that cannot be stopped or confiscated and is ideal for efficient, borderless banking. Improving on designs of Bitcoin and Monero, Epic Cash can be considered Bitcoin 3.0, a vastly more compact, more evolved, efficient, and scalable blockchain that uses a fraction of the storage of its predecessors. In order to assure integrity and immutability, neither Epic Cash transaction amounts nor user addresses are ever stored on the blockchain. This efficiency allows Epic Cash much broader potential market adoption than conventional cryptocurrencies, since its blockchain can only be fully stored on mobile devices, some point even enabling mobile or smartphone mining. So, I mean, if we look at this, where was it? Where was it? Improving investors evolved storage price. In order to assure integrity and immutability, neither Epic Cash transaction amounts nor user addresses are ever stored on the blockchain. That was one you and I went back and forth on about 25 times, and that's what's so cool, has been so cool about it. So when people are taking a look at I'll stop sharing for now. When people take a look at, cryptocurrencies, any of them, when you take a look at the ones that you should put on your discerning hat, and if you're trying to determine which are the investable coins, let me tell you, there are some questions that you have to ask that I have learned through, the shitcoin trials. And that is, one, what is the utility and purpose? Well, we can go through here and talk to you about the utility and purpose of Epic Cash. 2, what problem or problems does it solve? If it doesn't solve a problem, if it's just a fork of a blockchain that really has no use case long term other than staking, perhaps, and it's been pre-mined, is that really an investable coin, or is that just kind of a gamble? Is there added utility with the blockchain? That's another one. And the team, the leadership, the dev team. Is there a corporate structure involved? Because if there's a corporate structure involved, guess what? You enter in risk because there's a person to attack, right? There's a person that can be censored. Then of course the supply control, the market cap, the liquidity. Was there a pre-mine's a big one? And then the one that is the biggest for me now that I've experienced Epic Cash is, tell me about the community. And man, I have come to really, really love Telegram because it's just so efficient in community outreach and community engagement. So our community is second to none, and it is all people, as the first sentence says, it is a volunteer community. So you watching this right now, you can get involved. Just do a self-assessment. What are your talents? What are your gifts? We have one guy, more than one guy, my gosh, a team that, you know what they're really good at? They're really good illustrators, and they're really good humorous folks that are great at making memes. And so memes are a language these days. They get people's attention. And so we're using that. We're not just hodgy stodgy, it's got to be this way. No, man, we are open to everybody. What are your talents? Come to us. Come to epicfundme.com. If you can figure out a way to back into somehow using Epic Cash in your life, maybe you have a use case to be able to raise some funds for yourself. A lot of Epic Cash holders donate to good projects. Just go to epicfundme.com and just peruse down there. Because I wanted to learn it, I'm on Epic Fund Me. So if you want to donate to Uncle V's cigar fund, hey, please do. So before we kind of give I call it show a little leg on this present document that we're sending. Do you have kind of a general overview of this document? And because I know you worked with a couple of people to spearhead this thing, how did you pull it all together?
Well, it was a team effort for sure. A lot of credit due to Spencer for putting the polish on this, and a lot of text is pretty boring without the graphics that really tie the information together and make it a professional presentation. So definitely Max and inputs from yoga and just the whole team there in the hashtag safe sex being centralized exchanges. That Telegram group that we have about 12 members in there. I think I kind of kicked it off maybe with starting a draft of the introduction. A lot of this information has been here since the white paper. The tokenomics, big inputs from Max there, and the fungibility, private banking, the scalability of it.
Yeah, let's just go through this so people can actually see what goes into getting on an exchange. Now, this is called doing it the old-fashioned way, through grit and work. There are exchanges that if you have a huge pre-mine and there's a lot of ways to be able to, when it's not a fair launch, when it's an unfair launch, to be able to have funds to be able to go to an exchange, and you're going to pay at least $500,000 to $1 million. No shit, to get on an exchange. So it's pay to play. You don't think it's pay to play? It's absolutely pay to play. So Max has refused to do that because that's not in the model. This is going to be what it's going to be. And it's going to be through people adding energy to it. So we went, Max chose to go the cerebral way to actually put energy and effort into making the case. What's the case? It's why is it good for you, Gemini, to be able to add Epic Cash on your exchange? And so we need to persuade. We go into persuasive writing here. And so we are setting up a story here. So what are our achievements and goals? Well, those of you who are watching, you can go to epicentral.io. And I really encourage that. Before you invest, Man, Jesus, I'm going to sound like, little Roth, do your work. But, there's some truth to that. Then there's an overview. If you want to go to epic.tech/white paper, it's HTTPS. You should do that. I don't know how Max, it's just kind of unfair, I think, for some people to have supercomputers for brains. I was not so fortunate, but he certainly does. And so when you go read the white paper, you'll see privacy technology. Then there's an Epic Cash one pager here that you can go to. There's a timeline. I'm not going to go through that, but you can just see how well everything has been thought out and presented. The roadmap to progress talks about the history, talks about where we are now and where we're going to be going, from a progress standpoint. And man, there is so much here. It's mind boggling when you start talking about the core protocol, the DEX, EUSD, the infrastructure, insurance, nodes, miners, pools, proof of work, and use cases. It's mind numbing. So we unpack that. And then the opportunity, user base and market opportunity. Anyone with a cell phone can hold and transact Epic Cash today. Tomorrow, that same cell phone will also mine. In so doing, it will connect that person to every other person on the planet directly without requiring a bank as a middleman. Does everyone hear this? This is the vision, guys. This is why you should, don't be that person that's saying, man, I listened to this uncle dude way back when, and Epic Cash was at 50 cents. And I just, I couldn't figure out how to, come up with enough to be able to get me 100 Epic coin. One day when it's trading at $10,000, maybe you'll wish that you listened. BTC is Bitcoin experienced through banks, and Epic is Bitcoin experienced directly. So with Bitcoin, you always have a middleman. Between now and the singularity in May 2028, I won't go into that. Only 1.6 million BTC will be newly mined, whereas Epic offers 8.6 million. So both networks will have the same 20.4 million supply at singularity, the same full Nakamoto consensus, and the same daily emission of 210 coins per day. A relative handful of already wealthy people will generate millions of kilograms of toxic e-waste, disposing of useless ASICs. In Epic, 437% more coins get into billions of hands versus millions of hands. 3 orders of magnitude more coin distribution at the front end means more than that in terms of net impact, thanks to Metcalfe's law. I'm not smart enough to go through that. Coin information and economics. So the symbol is EPIC, EPIC. The supply is 21 million and it is fixed, just like Bitcoin. EPIC equals HTTPS, BTC. Faster, cheaper, better, fairer, greener. So the primary use case, it's extremely censorship resistant, fungible digital store of value. Epic is the backbone of the Epicenter stable chain, a binary star designed in which transparent EUSD, and I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I just want to read this one paragraph. EUSD and confidential Epic work together, serves as a direct medium of exchange as well as a superfluid collateral to backstop the EUSD stablecoin and wider Epicenter commerce ecosystem, united by the ECR token. Holy moly, Izzy. I know you understand that. I don't. But what I do understand is today the Epic blockchain protocol underlying Epic Cash offers fungibility, rapid, scalable, and mobile transactions, private banking, universal access, And then look at this. You're going to be able to have your Epic Cash. So let's say that you have Epic Cash. You got, I'm just going to say 1,000 coins. You were able to come up with $500. So you have 1,000 coins, and those 1,000 coins keep growing in value. Like with Izzy, he's had it for way less than a penny, and it's been growing and growing and growing in his world. So now we are in cents, and it's going to grow and grow. And there's going to be a point in time to where it's going to grow and grow in dollars. And you're going to be like, man, you know, I'm kind of a big deal because I'm kind of wealthy. And let's say you don't want to get off of that train. Well, the way that Max has set this up, you're going to be able to get an Epicurean card. So I don't know how it all works, but basically you don't have to sell your Epic Cash to be able to get access to the money. And it will be, there's going to be a way to be able to get a 0% loan up to 50% of the value of your Epic Cash. It's just nuts. Coin allocation, team wallets, lockups, coin lockups. That's another one. Not applicable to us because there is no pre-mine or organization. The circulating supply and emissions. There's a singularity point here to where Epic Cash, the Epic Cash supply catches up to Bitcoin supply, and then they just end their days together hand in hand. It's going to be beautiful. They're going to be just walking down the beach together, except they're going to be fully naked and we're going to be invisible, private. 21 maximum supply, no ICO, no pre-mine, no venture capitalists, no company. Epic, fair launched, 100% proof of work mined. Okay, I'm going to hand this over to you because I'd like you to talk to us about what a fair launch is, Izzy.
A fair launch is when a new cryptocurrency comes on the scene and it lets everybody know it's on the scene, and the supply of that cryptocurrency is up for grabs to anyone. And you have a team that went and put their blood, sweat, and tears into this thing, and you know, and their energy and their life force, and they're staying in the game. They're not going anywhere. You know, like
what can go wrong? What can go wrong with a pre-mine if you are an investor in a coin that's been pre-mined?
Pump and dump.
Talk to us about that, would you?
So get a pre-mine of say 10% of, you know, a large supply, and make all sorts of promises, and you say.
So let's just hypothetically say Epic Cash was pre-mined at 10%. So there were 21 million. So that means 2.1 million were pre-mined. So that means that the leadership of the company, somewhere, somehow, I don't know how it would be divided up, but there are 2.1 million coins that were mined at nothing, basically. Mm-hmm. That's, you know, it's like cheating, you know? So as with that as a pre-mine, well, why don't you finish this, because I have a question, but I don't know if I'm on the right track.
Well, and I want to be careful not to just diss all coins with pre-mines, because you know, Epic Cash has a fundraising mechanism, and it's a voluntary part of our proof of work. If you opt in to mining Epic Cash, you also opt in to development, you know, a voluntary payment to a development fee. And it started off at 8.88%. It's currently at 6.66%. It's an unpleasant number to say, but next year it goes down to 5.55%, and it diminishes by 1%, 1.11% every year until it is completely gone. And oh, by the way, Epic Cash is taking this funding mechanism and converting it to a DAO, which is happening in other places in cryptocurrencies as well. It goes to that socialization part of cryptocurrencies and money socialization and networkization. You know, putting money on the network, on the internet, making it available to people and governed by the people who interact with that money and own that money. That's the cool thing about blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and we can't forget that. You know, when we make comparisons and we use a derogatory term like BTC compared to an amazing term like Bitcoin. Bitcoin represents all the theory and things that make this blockchain money so good, and BTC represents the tariffs and the regulation, the oppression that can get attached to this stuff. Sorry, I kind of went down a rabbit hole a little bit, but no. But the funding mechanism is important. Going back to pre-mines, there have been points that
I think it's important to be able to share with people that being a community, supported coin or project, if you will, ultimately, you need to have money to be able to make investments in tech and development, and it's not free. So, from my day job standpoint, we invest in startups. And so with 22 portfolio companies, they all took seed capital. So you don't get that unless you either pre-mine and have a mechanism there, or in this case, what you're saying is, it's kind of an ugly term, but it is what it is. But it's like a miner's tax. So it's when it started, 8% of the income that you generate from mining, that 8% is going into a DAO or a bucket. Let's just make it simple. That is there to be able to, be shepherded and invested wisely to be able to grow the project. I mean, ultimately, you don't just go, lift one leg and cut one and have a mobile wallet, right? I mean, it takes an investment. So, some of that is supported from the 8.8% or now 6.6%. And other is through community support. I mean, I think, what was it, 30 grand we raised for the wallet recently to be able to punch that into the end zone?
For the mobile wallet being developed by Poolboy, and he's working on V3 right now. So just thrilled to see the technical development that's happening with Epic Cash.
Tell me about Poolboy.
He's a developer and he has experience developing wallets. So that's what I know about him.
I heard, and maybe you can verify this, but I heard he took the UI or user interface or the experience of the top 15, whether it would be like Zelle or anything financially related that has to do with sending, receiving money. He took those top 15 and he mapped out the best of the best from a UI standpoint, user interface. And that is going to be incorporated into the Epic Cash mobile wallet. The Epic Cash mobile wallet, when it comes out, is going to be the best in the business. It's going to blow your mind. You've seen some renderings. I've seen some renderings, and it's just beautiful. It's just going to be amazing. And when it is, Epic Cash isn't going to be 50 cents.
A mobile wallet is the hurdle it's the barrier between me and connecting easily 100 users. And I'm just one guy. And I just want to clarify one thing. I have not been paid in any way, shape, or form. I don't know if I'm on camera right now, but I'm showing off my Epic.
Oh, I like it.
Yep.
I like it. I got to get mine.
I know. I want to get an Epic flag. There's so many.
A lot of it. You feel proud being an Epic team member, right? A community member.
I've never been a part of a community like this in crypto. I've just been kind of on the fringes.
Yeah.
And, one thing I hear in different circles is go where you're treated well.
Great point.
Yeah, and I've never been treated better anyplace else. It takes me back in some life lessons I've learned before from high school teachers that taught me, that treated me special, and gave me opportunities as a student. And that's a very similar thing that's happening here. I'm learning tons about economies and technical things, and I do stuff on GitHub I never knew how to do before. And it's sexy and it's cool, and I just love it. Yeah.
Well, it's so funny. You were sharing earlier that you've learned some things from me from just watching or whatever. I knew absolutely zero the first week of January of this year. Absolutely zero. When the guy who got me into this said you need to invest in XRP, and I didn't know what XRP was, and he told me it was cryptocurrency, and I'm like, I know nothing about it. That's where it all started, and only because I chose to start this channel and document my journey as a newbie. Because I wanted to just kind of share as I'm learning things, maybe that would benefit others. People were attracted to that. And then what happened is for whatever, call it providential, I don't know, but I've come across so many really great people. And it really wasn't until I met Max to where he took the time, not only for me, but for the Uncle Vigilante, YouTube subscribers, or I'm going to say the YouTube family. I hate the word subscriber because it reminds me of TCV being a subscriber over there. There's nobody that pays anything to watch the Uncle Vigilante channel. I ask for nada. We do not tolerate sponsors. And so when I met Max, and he was just so giving of his time to educate me, and vicariously through me, others. That's when I started. I really stopped paying attention to everything else. Honestly, it's like, okay, I'm holding R. I'm holding. I have a portfolio of probably about 25 different coins, but it's like I just kind of lost my zeal for anything else because I'm like, okay, finally, I can. Actually, maybe even by helping educate others and giving a platform for folks like you and Todd Lewis, developer, and even Max, Yoga Dude, is I can actually impact this coin, by adding my own energy to it. And, I think that's kind of rare. But with Epic Cash right now, I'm talking to all of you out there who may be interested in just getting involved with something. Just start with the Telegram chat. What is it? Epic Cash Community, or is it Epic Cash, Izzy?
I'm looking at it right now. Let me see. I'm seeing oops, Epic Cash, just t.me/Epic Cash. All one word.
So just start there, everyone. Go to Epic Cash. Just come in and say hello. And what you're going to be just astonished is there's just a lot of people working together, and there's a lot of respect for each other in there. However, there are some off-topic channels, and it's so amazing. It's like all of us can be diametrically opposed in our worldviews, and then and go, slug it out and then hug it out when we come back to do the work, right, for the project. And that has been what's really cool. Is it's like almost magical, because you have different spaces within that ecosystem to go just, all of it's censor free, but there are certain channels to where it's like, no, we stay on topic here. We are going to be disciplined here because this is about moving the ball forward. And I admire that, just coming from a business standpoint, and the companies that you have to have that kind of, I call it herding cats that you do so well. But believe me, that's a gift. But that's what people will find if you just start with Epic Cash. And look, somebody told me today, they're like, man, your channel has really turned into just kind of like Uncle Epic Cash. And I'm like, so what? It's my movie. And I'm just staying true to what I committed from the beginning is I'm documenting my journey. And my journey right now is I am standing firm, man, right here in the Epic Cash foxhole. And it's going to be something truly, truly special. I'm not going to oversell anything. I'm not going to sell anything. All I'm doing is presenting the information, presenting a lot of great guests, and people are either arrive at the same conclusion I did or not. And if not, by all means, invest elsewhere.
Yeah,
that's it.
I am with you 100% with this. You are a community catalyst. I never talked about catalysts and projects or stocks or anything as being, the community being so important. And the community here is paramount to Epic Cash going forward and right. being and living up to the fundamentals that have been built behind it that can make it into something great. It's already something great, but it takes people interacting with it.
Yeah,
and that's going to happen. And you're discussing your interviews and your chats and your energy is a huge part of that. And I'm so thankful that you're doing this.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I can't get enough of it. As a matter of fact, every Sunday from noon to 1 p.m. Every Sunday Eastern time, Max and I are going to get on, and it's we're going to start calling it Epic Cash Live instead of Epicenter Live, so that people searching for Epic Cash can find those videos. And people have really enjoyed them to where, Max just kind of goes all supercomputer on it and talks about, where we've been this week and where we're going next week. And it's just literally, it's really rare to have that kind of an insight on a project that's so early yet so developed.
It really is. And, there's so much information out there about the team. There's information about the people, if people want to dig into things and be an internet sleuth or whatever. But, before this interview, I was very introspective, and I was thinking about, giving an introduction of myself. And you asked me how I got into cryptocurrency, but if you don't mind, I'd like to tell you a little bit.
I'd love it.
Story, and because I like to know, what made this person the way they are right now? Why are they so addicted on this point? So
please do.
I was born in Hawaii.
Wow, that's a dichotomy.
And I know I grew up in Alaska, but first 4 years of my life were in Hawaii, just me and my mom. And for a couple months there, we lived in a tree house. It was no electricity, no running water. I got scolded for not cleaning out the peanut butter jar all the way is one of my memories.
Wow.
It was a scarce. We had scarce resources. I was living in the scarcity. I was literally in poverty.
And this was up until 4 years old.
Right. So I would say I was about 3 when we were in the treehouse. We were only there for a couple months, but okay. I had the experience. Word got around that this is how me and my mom were living, and a hotel owner took us in and gave us a place to stay until we could get until we could get an apartment. Drawing a blank, not a 1-bedroom apartment, but and so that was yes, and then so that's where I came from. That's that's part of what makes me who I am. Was
part of your DNA,
yeah, and so that's where I value wealth, because I still value wealth. I'm not independently wealthy, but that's kind of so.
Yeah, money doesn't buy happiness, but it sure helps.
Well, yeah, and I'm a believer religiously, and I don't go to church every Sunday, but I'm familiar with the stories and and how evil money can be, so
the love of money.
I definitely
respect the root of all evil.
Yeah, the root of all evil.
And people get it wrong, but it's the love of money. It's not money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
It's the love of money. It's when that is your focus and that is your passion and that's it. And you will pump and dump your subscribers for money. Yeah, I said it.
To the detriment of other people, you're doing it wrong. You know, we're getting away from what Bitcoin, from what blockchain, from what makes it so cool. You know, when we get to these pump and dumps, and that's probably not why I never really subscribed in, paid into these subscriptions. Other than the $3 a month one, I thought was a pretty good deal because it saved me some time. And it's how I found Epic Cash, even though it was made available on BitcoinTalk.org. Yeah. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Like, just I started off modest. My mom did well moving on in life. You know, we got out of the single apartment. She became a property owner, and things just kind of
awesome.
Yeah, we're doing okay over here, you know. But
great. Now, are you still geographically close to your mom?
She passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I should have dropped that. You know, it's
okay.
Yeah, she's so my grandma lived to be 100, and
wow.
And one thing, she passed on, and she was in Florida. I have a couple uncles in Florida. I know and I lived in Florida for 3 years myself. So I've been around, lived a couple of different places.
Where in Florida did you live?
Gulf Coast, so Eglin, Fort Walton Beach. I lived in Biloxi, Mississippi, so I'm a big fan of the Gulf Coast.
Got it.
One of these family trips I'm going to do, I'm going to go to like New Orleans. Yeah, I actually lived in the French Quarter of New Orleans for a year, and then I lived in Biloxi for about a year, and then I lived in Pensacola Beach area, or Pensacola area, Panama City Beach area. Yeah. For about 3 years. I've got an uncle down near Vero Beach.
Well, you're always welcome at the Uncle V pad. And and soon it's going to be at Galt's Landing. I don't know if you've been watching those videos, but
I love it.
I'm so excited about that. I'm going to have those guys back on, both those guys together. That's going to be fun.
So another thing about my grandma, though, I got to drop this in there about kind of and on that theme of like what made me who I am. I remember her telling me one day, she said, not all laws are right. And I don't, I live by the law of the land. I live by the Constitution. I supported and defended the Constitution for 21 years, and I still continue to do that. And I'm not some lawless citizen or anything, but you know what? The Patriot Act went into, was passed, and it was rewritten, and these are laws, and there's liberty that matters, and so when I hear news about the evil union or the European Union, banning privacy coins, and okay, it's going to happen, but hopefully there's some pullback from that, and hopefully these people who are doing these things kind of learn some lessons, and they're, hopefully this is just a growing pain and a maturity process, because people shouldn't, we elect these people. These are democratic Western civilization cultures and societies that are yanking us around and telling us what we're going to do with our money.
Oops.
So it just reminds me of something my grandma told me, not all laws are right, and they get rewritten all the time. So
yeah.
And by the way, as it pertains to Epic Cash in the community, we have that lawyer who wrote the opinion letter. Epic Cash is regulator friendly, and that's important. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Max has been playing 5D chess. He really has. He has, learned from the mistakes of others and has just war gamed all of that in. It's like, what good is all of this if in 8 years, you're wearing a prison suit, and because of something that you didn't know you did wrong 8 years ago or whatever. So it's like, and that is why this has not gone at this pace that would warrant, Max is not going to be the guy that's going to pick up the phone to Jeff Berwick and say, hey man, can we have a little side deal? Can Can you start talking about, can you invest in, I'll give you some coins, I'll give you some epic cash, a lot of it, if you can just start, going on your walks and pumping it. And, let's see, people have to understand that's a business model, right? But that's not what epic cash is all about. This is organic. This is a beautiful organic thing. And those of us who are now participating in it from a volunteer community standpoint, we're witnessing something great. And I don't know about you, but I like being part of things that are special. I've been part of a lot of special things in my life, a lot of special companies that have gone on to do amazingly wonderful things. And those memories I will recall fondly forever. And that's what I feel about this right now. It's like going through the grit of going back and forth with you on a sentence, on the structure of a sentence. And no, let's don't begin it with neither. Let's be, let's,
Yeah.
and
Right.
it's all of those things that make this special, to where we're putting our thumbprint on something. And I just hope it's evident to other people who are watching, because, I would love to expand the community. And it's as simple, guys. I mean, you can buy it. I have a video down there, which is how do you, on why I like Epic Cash and how do you buy it. You can earn it. Go to epicfundme.com, put a case out there. It's like a GoFundMe. Think of it as a GoFundMe with zero middleman who's going to take a cut. You make an appeal, or if you have special services that you just want to put on Epic Fund Me, guess what? You can earn Epic Cash. So that's the second way. And then the other way is to mine it. I haven't done a video on that, but that's forthcoming. I have one of the Epic Cash's stud miners. He's moving to Orlando, so he can't do it within the next week and a half. But after that, he's going to come on and we're going to do a full video on how to be able to mine Epic Cash. But Izzy, you could probably share with people, if people want to get involved with mining, tomorrow, if they wanted to, how would they go about that? There's a Telegram community, isn't there?
Absolutely. So the mining community in Telegram, let me just get there. And let me just, yep.
And what?
T.me.
Okay.
So it's always t.me / and it's just Epic Miners, all one word. And just echo EPICMINERS. Correct.
Just because I know that not everybody speaks English who watches, so miners could be ORS or ERS. So just in when people hear it. So EPICMINERS.
100%.
Okay.
And Norsimo, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Norkimo.
Yeah.
He is the mining god for sure, and he has.
Yeah, he's the one who's moving to Orlando, and he's coming on after he settles. He said. That's
great. Yeah, I look forward to watching that video. This is the first time we've had human to human interaction. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was as eager as I've been for any interview, really, because I've been able to sit. It's like I can imagine. I don't know. You have a military history. It's kind of like if you are in battle, but you're not in the same place, but you physically or geographically, but you're all fighting the common cause, right? And you're coordinating things. Right. And then once you win, it's like when you finally get to put a face with the name, and you're like, oh my God, you're Izzy. That's awesome. That's how it feels, Yeah. That's how it feels. I want to just, first of all, say hello to some folks in the chat. Luke I'm going to probably destroy it, but it's Luctor, Luctor. Thank you. He said, Uncle, you're the best. Thank you. Then Thomas, Bobby G is in there. Said I need a new moniker. How about vigilante executioner?
Like,
that works for me. And then Uncle V, love you, brother. I'm in South Carolina. I'd love to come and have coffee and cigar with you. And you have my contact information anytime. That'd be fantastic. Let's see. Please ask your distinguished guest. I missed this one. Where to go to read about the simple math that encrypts the coin? That's a great question, Thomas.
so I read Mimblewimble. I'm not sure if it's called a white paper, but I think in 2016. So a good place to go and read, if you just Google Mimblewimble and just start pulling things up, there's all sorts of articles. If you want to jump in.
But Mimblewimble, let us not forget what Mr. X says. Mimblewimble or Epic Cash is nowhere near as fungible as Monero because of Mimblewimble. So people, there's a great video that I saw. Great video. It's where this guy, you've seen the 3-card Monte where, just imagine 3 cups and you put a ball underneath it and you switch them all around, and then the game is to select which one. Well, there's one with Monero, but it's like the cups are clear. So the person playing is like going through all this effort. No, I'm sorry. The person doing the mixing up all of the cups. Man, I'm destroying this. Mixing up all the cups. The person who's playing the game keeps getting it right because he can see the ball underneath. And with Mimblewimble, there just is no ball underneath. You can't see anything. There's just nothing there. There's nothing there. But somehow, and I have a sneaky suspicion I know why, the folks over at the Crypto Vigilante determined that Epic Cash, because it uses Mimblewimble, is inferior to Monero. Now, we're not knocking Monero. It's a great privacy coin. We get to the same ends, except our blockchain doesn't bloat. And that's what happens with Monero. So it can't scale like Epic Cash can. It can't become, a currency. But okay, did you find what you were looking for?
There's a couple good things out there. I've read Mimblewimble Explained Like You're 12. Which is
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that. Would you put that in the Epic Cash Telegram chat? So we're gonna drive people to Epic Cash. If you want that article, I'm not gonna put it in my notes. Go to t.me/Epic Cash and it'll be there. So good. Let's see. So Thomas, I hope that answered your question. Hey, Uncle V and IZLO from SD, and then Media Bear. Hey, Uncle V, Media Bear, legend. And then Thomas again, Media Bear, your videos are delightful. Hi, Uncle V, George says. And then Thomas, Uncle V has a tight grip on the pirate community. I am a pirate. I hold lots of pirate, and I love those guys. And as a matter of fact, I think that I shared last night that I think, and maybe I have it wrong, but I'm usually not wrong on Saturday. I mean, on what is today? Is this Saturday? Yeah, this is Saturday. Saturdays. But when this Darrow disaster came out, I think there were just a ton of R holders who needed to be liquid to be able to invest in Darrow. And so I think they went to Trade Ogre and they exchanged their R because that's what they had, because they're probably fully vested, and got into Bitcoin. And that whole process is when the price started to come down. And so I kind of blame that price degradation on, the shenanigans, the theater of the absurd of the TCV Darrow pick. I could be wrong, but at the same time, you had Little Ralph saying that they need to do these independent audits. And it's like, dude, you've been pumping this coin forever. You know, you're so smart. Your team's so smart. Why wouldn't you, before you even recommended it to a giant community, why wouldn't you have pushed the independent audit button that you have to do that? So to me, it's just like I start reading the tea leaves and I'm like, something just doesn't smell right. I hear what you say, but I see what you do. And I just think they're wanting to, as the price started going down, just back away from the project. But unlike them just bitching about independent audits, Max is contributing to funding one for the R community. So, and is going to create, when the ECR token comes out, is going to create an airdrop for R holders. So if you hold R in a private wallet, guess what? You're going to be informed for, I think it's like a 30-day period or whatever. You can claim your ECR tokens. Nothing in return, just the fact that you're a pirate. So, you know, that we love the R community, and we're doing things with Captain Drath and their dev team as well. And we're working on atomic swaps. And so, you know, leading with the chin versus the handout, man, that really crystallizes TCV now. We need to have a meme where they lead with their handout and their chin's like way back. I need Monk Man to, right? Monk Man, if you're watching this, we need that meme. Okay, let's see. Uncle Viola, let's see. And then Melbourne, Australia. George, coming to us from Melbourne, man. I hope I'm wishing you well. I can't remember if that's the area in Australia to where you're still in lockdown. If that is the case, man, I hope that ends soon for you. Thomas again, if Uncle V says buy XYZ, which he would not say, the pirates would go buy. Well, you know, I have been saying buy Epic Cash. So if you're a pirate, if what Thomas is saying, go buy some Epic Cash. It's not that hard. The love of Jesus says get crypto, which means take the money back from the money changers. I like that.
Nice.
And then casual mining, still GPU mining ETH. While it's good, but I'm definitely interested in Epic mining. I'll be watching for the video. Thanks. Well, casual mining, based upon your name, I'd say that you're a casual miner. So why don't you go to epic.me/epic miners and just say hello in there and just start just kind of observing in the community, and you would speak the language in there. Others of us, it's kind of Greek, but you'd probably, you know, get a lot out of it. So what else, Izzy? What haven't we covered?
Well, the community is very important, and this is all about the community. Definitely appreciate the comments coming in the live YouTube chat right now, and you know, looking forward to having hopefully some new miners. I want the community to grow. I want more miners. You know, of course, I've been in since day one, and so it's easy to look at me and say I'm shilling. But I just challenge anyone with that, you know, that draws that conclusion to compare Epic Cash to any token. Look at the fundamentals, and just look at where we're going. You know, and just come in, participate in our Telegram. And then start making some decisions, you know, and hopefully you'll decide you want to be a contributing community member and maybe solve some of the problems, because we're problem solvers. Blockchain people are in blockchain. People are in this field. They're all about, you know, finding the next problem and destroying it and just making something beautiful out of it. So
yeah, I mean, it's fun. And look, I was having a conversation with my best friend who just Mike, if you're out there, I hope you're feeling better. Just had heart surgery this last Monday, and it's been a sucky week. He can't sleep, hasn't been able to sleep all week. And we were just talking about, you know, when we're happiest in life. And, I submit that I have been the times that I have had a real sense of purpose for whatever it was. I mean, we can all have purpose. I remember when I got my sheepadoodle Zammy, and he started becoming this amazing dog who interacted with people and brought so much joy. I ended up getting him trained to be a children's hospital therapy dog. So, if people want to see Zammy, go to Zammy Pup on Instagram. He has 142,000 followers. He's the world's most famous children's hospital therapy dog, and spreads an amazing amount of joy. Well, during those years before COVID, when we had to stop going to the hospital, which was heartbreaking, there were 3 years of every Monday, didn't miss one of them, to where we would go to the children's hospital. That was purpose, and was nothing that generated income. It was just sharing my dog with these kids and seeing that when they were in his presence, they did not feel pain. That brought me so much joy myself, because there was a purpose there. There have been other times to where it was business related, to where you have that job that you just absolutely love and you lean into it, and it's like you have purpose. And right now it's like with crypto, initially got into it and investing in all of these projects, and then it's kind of like it's water finds its own level. And now I'm at a point to where I feel a purpose. I feel a purpose with Epic Cash, and it's bringing me joy to be able to evangelize it, if you will.
So one thing that caught me by surprise in this crypto boom cycle that we're when Bitcoin was around $60,000 was Dogecoin. Dogecoin jumped out, and I'm like, oh, why did I not see that coming? And then it was like Shiba Coin, and another meme coin. And I'm like, ew, I'm like, no, like Dogecoin was enough. And then this group of meme coins got together and just sent over $1 billion worth of this meme coin to Vitalik Buterin, who is the lead guy for Ethereum. And Vitalik was like, think I'll send that to India and to this nonprofit to support COVID relief. And it's this huge, charitable event, over $1 billion of value, that who could have seen that coming? And it's this community, it's a demonstration on a larger scale of community. And so that's why I like being a part of these things. These are the kind of things I want to see happen. I know people like Max have done tree planting in Africa. Yeah. And these are the kind of people. I myself was a volunteer, back in the day with the 2002 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City, Utah. So and you're right. And I think I'm trying to connect with you as far as the times when we're happiest in life. Yeah. Or when we're doing things not to grow our own wealth, but to enrich our lives with these experiences and help other people. I have always found that, again, I use this all the time. People are probably sick of hearing it, but when you lead with your chin versus your hand out, usually financially good things come. People respect the fact that if you do something for others without an expectation of something in return, that creates some kind of good karma. I don't understand it. I feel it. And that's why, I've really been so impressed with the ambassadors, the Epic ambassadors, because it's like everybody in there, it's just like positive energy all the time. It's like, can do, what can I do to help? And this is the other thing that I have noticed with all of you guys who are smart, like when there are things that are just way over my head, what I find is like Max will just throw out something and say, we should do X immediately. You or somebody say, okay, on it. I mean, and it's time and time and time again. It's not a hot potato. So it's not just, people aren't deflecting accountability. And that is why this coin is going to be a monster,
Honestly, it is the energy from the community that's going to turn this into a monster. The reason why Doge did so well is it's a freaking no use case meme coin, but the community was awesome, is awesome, and that energy, they put so much energy into it. Why is R going to be amazingly successful? Because the pirates are awesome. The community is awesome. Monero community, awesome. It's like again, this is not negative against Monero. Our issue has been the tainted viewpoint or view of TCV and Mr. X and Roth and all of that, of saying, epic trash. Okay, so that rhymes. Good job, Lil Ralph. Ralph. But so communities, and we're coming back to, it's the title of this, crypto communities, what makes great ones. I hope tonight you've gotten a little peek behind the Epic Cash community and why we think it's great. And I really hope you become a community member too. All of you watching. It's like, why not? For crying out loud, it's 50 cents. Go get 100. figure out the Vite wallet. I made a video. It's not that hard. Get in the game. Get the spectators off the field. There are no excuses. When this coin is at $1,000, there were no excuses. There's no barrier of entry here, guys. So for what it's worth, and I say that with love, with it's like, you're my family. Just figure it out. Not that hard. All right. Well, look, we've been at it for a long time, and I know you need to walk your dog because we're coming up on it, and I need to do the same. But hey, everyone in the chat, thank you. Really appreciate you. And Izzy, man, you're a legend. Really appreciated the conversation. This was fun.
I walk among giants, and you're one of them. And Max and Todd and everyone, Black Tiger, Norsimo. I know there's a whole bunch of people we're not mentioning in the ambassadors group that are doing great things. Thanks for your time. Have a wonderful Saturday.
And you know what? I said it in the ambassadors group. I want to get every one of them on. I want to be able to do this with every single, person who is leading with their chin, because I'd love to hear everybody's story. And at some point in time, we're going to have an Epic Cash conference where we are all going to be together. And man, that's just going to be awesome. I'm
loving it. I'm loving it.
So anyway, Max, if you're out there and listening, you probably didn't make it this far, but if you are, thanks for your vision and putting all of this together, because, without that supercomputer of a brain of yours, this doesn't happen. He gets pissed with me saying this, but I always joke. I'm like, if in 5 years somebody says, yeah, that Max was Satoshi, I would probably believe you.
I have thought that myself.
Right? Am I right,
to the point where I've considered going and doing like text analysis on the old bitcointalk.org, okay, let's do some behavior analysis. I think I saw this on an episode of CSI.
Exactly. Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thinks that, because his brain just doesn't. Mine. It's like if you have a Porsche and a tricycle. That's kind of, and you have a quarter-mile race. That's about where I would come in. But thank goodness I at least have a big mouth and smoke cigars, and we'll work out the rest, Izzy.